Today I wanted to give you a few budgeting tips. One of the first things that when somebody in my office comes to me and one of their personal goals is to set a budget up. The first assignment that I give them is to keep track for the next month all their expenditures. Every one of them, even if it's just going to Starbucks in the morning, then it's only a $4 or $5 expenditure. And then I have them bring it back to me. And then we go through it and we put those all into categories. So they know exactly what they're spending, how much they're spending, because it's a real eye-opener for most of them because they don't realize how much money they're spending on certain things. Then based upon their spending activity, then we say, well, these are the areas that you need to cut down on. These are the areas that we need to expand upon. And usually that's your savings or the pot of money that you want to use for investing. So my philosophy is you should be able to live off of 60% of what you make. And 40% should be going into a non-touchable savings account, which you use for investing. So if you cannot live off the 60%, then you need to figure out how to make more money and have more flows of income. And that's what I encourage them to do, because rather than looking at all of your expenses and getting overwhelmed, it's sometimes easier to figure out how to make more money, how to be able to bring in a second income or things like that. And if not, then you might have to start out a little smaller, step by step. But you have things like you have to pay your rent, otherwise you're not going to have a place to live. You have to pay your car insurance, otherwise you cannot drive your car if you have one. You have to make your car payment. So then we start taking the things that you absolutely have to live, and then we start looking at the things that are more wants rather than needs. And this takes 2 or 3 months, because you have to remember, you as a person, we get into ruts and we get used to spending things and doing things a certain way. And you've been doing that your whole life. And so changes take time, and you do it slowly but surely. Sometimes even what I do with myself personally is I set goals. When I make this much and I have this much set aside, then I can do this. Whether that's a vacation or, I've saved up enough money. Like my goal this year, for instance, is to be able to go visit my children once a quarter. And I made this goal last year, but I also set aside the monies that I knew it would take to be able to go see them. So that way, when I want to go do it, it's already sitting there. And it also makes me feel good because I'm not spending money that I should be putting into something else. So those are my tips for today. If you have budgeting questions, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love Excel spreadsheets. I love to sit down and help people figure out the best way to do things. And in the end, it's up to you. So give me a call, 916-691-9192, or you can hit the link below, which will probably give you my email address or some other way for you to get a hold of me. My marketing team does that. They're so great. Everybody should be so blessed. Have a great day.